Hello, this is Hope Roski with Business, Arts, and Events, and today I'm here with Darin Marsella. Darin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Hope. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here, and you're with Retirement Concepts of America. And Darin, finances are so key in today's world and planning for the future. And with this election year coming up, people are really at the point of where are things going to go? What am I going to do? How are things going to be in the next 4, 8 rest of their life years? And you have some upcoming events where people can really get a better and clearer picture of their financial future. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely, Hope. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, so on October 24th at 6 p.m. at Ovidio's restaurant, we're going to have a great time, get together, and not just talk about numbers and boring stuff, but actually talk about the election, which is pretty exciting right now, right? And how that's going to affect your retirement income, if it is. Should I make any adjustments? Is it time to convert for a Roth? What are we looking at? And I won't give anything away today about it too much, but other than one, there's some interesting factors involved with, they have the misery indicator, okay? And a lot of times, based on the incumbent and maybe that time period, if people aren't feeling well about the economy, then that may reflect in the voting. How will that affect in most presidencies and how they've done? The market is going to still be good, okay? And no matter what, whether it's up 5 points compared to the other person that gets elected, you're still going to be okay. At the end of the day, you go vote, do what you're going to do, and like Warren Buffett says about picking socks, just go grab some ice cream and ampersands and call it a day. Forget about it. Don't stress.
Don't stress?
Yeah.
So, for example, not picking party sides. If, for example, Donald Trump gets elected, how do you think people are going to respond in a financial, because he was president at one time? Is it more of a familiarity so they kind of know where their investments could be? What is the situation if he were to get elected?
It's a good question. We won't. There's a lot of factors involved in each presidency, obviously, and with this one, we have the federal rates are going to be cut consecutively going down. So you may see some areas where your fixed rates are going lower.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you have money in a CD, you're going to see those rates start to lock up and go lower. So you're also going to see advertisements right now. We're just saying, hey, come to our bank, or even on the annuity side, your rates can be capped out and they're starting to lower. So that's something to consider. How Trump plays in all this, we'll find out. You also we're surrounded by China, we're surrounded by Russia, we're surrounded by all these conflicts at the same time. So you might look back at how World War II was with that presidency and then the outcome. And generally, they're bullish anytime you're dealing with Lockheed Martin and anything having to do with ramping up towards, we won't call it World War III, but conflicts and assisting.
Sure.
You can see it right now. Those companies that benefit from a ramp up with conflicts are generally stocks you could look at. But looking forward on how the markets are going to affect you, I think we're still going to be in a positive area is what we're looking at.
Okay, so let's take a look at the other side of it. What if Kamala Harris were to become elected? Do you think it will follow same suit as it's been with President Biden, or do you think there might be a little bit of a change?
Good question. I think if she sticks to the policies that she says she's going to stick to as far as taxes, if she changes the tax rates, that obviously is going to affect us. If she's talking about unrealized gains being taxed and things of that sort, then you may see some market movements where people are less likely maybe they'll move to something else.
I see. So there's a lot of what ifs, and we're not obviously going to know until the election day, and that's coming up here in November. So we all have to definitely get out and vote, and I think that's the most important thing to say too. So when we talk about investment, there's short-term investments and long-term investments. Darin, tell me a little bit about the difference between how people can view that, because a lot of people are kind of scared to lock up money for a long period of time. What are some good short-term and some good long-term investments?
I would look at it as this way: is what do you have liquidity is what they call it, cash on hand in markets, meaning anything outside of an IRA umbrella, your equities that are like, hey, even a mutual fund, ETFs, your cash reserves, money markets, something I can get to. You want to make sure you can get to it, 6 months worth of spending, sometimes up to 70, and depending on your age as well, and where you're at with retiring and your finances. Long-term investments is something that I call sleep at night investments. Okay, it's something that you don't need right away in the next 90 days to 5 years, and you have the ability to get good earnings, a reasonable rate of return, but also where you're protected. If the market goes south, you're not going to go south with it. So that's what I call where you can sleep at night, we sleep at night, we're not worried about it.
Right.
But hey, take the other side of the short term, go to 10% of your market in something that's maybe a sophisticated investment that has a little bit of risk. Go for it. Do all you want to do. But the rest, we've got to watch, maybe a portion into the stocks and then portion into something that's safe.
So I think what you're saying is that it's very good to be diversified, maybe not roll your dice into one area, but be diversified enough that if one's tilting this way, you have the other one there to help balance it out.
Absolutely.
So you're not at a huge loss. One of the things I do want to talk to you about is, and as a retired teacher, this was really important, was starting a 403B. When I retired, then I had the choice of going into an IRA account. Your wife is also an educator too, bless her heart. And I think it's important because teachers are saying we don't make enough, or people who are maybe in other type of industries, I'm not making enough. But what people need to be realized is they're not being taxed as you're taking that out and investing for the future. Why do you, in your perception, feel it's good for people not to be afraid of just a slightly smaller paycheck to look at then the future?
Right now, it's the same issue we have with 401k participants, is that you can't tell them, even though in 401ks that they're getting matching contributions or matching to what they're putting in. That's like free money on the table. And as far as 403b, it's pre-tax. You want to lower your tax table as far as you can go.
Right.
But at the end of the day, people are so stressed out right now, and they're thinking about, how can I pay for this? And they see their paycheck, they're like, I can't afford $50, I can't afford $100. They need to work on goals. If they have goals of their retirement, then they can get those small targets, those monthly targets. They need that monthly target to reach that end of their lifetime target, which is the large target. You got to just take those little baby steps every day. Even if it's $1 a day, $2, $3, you just got to do it.
Just a little something.
Just a little bit
to get
every day.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it really will get you over the hurdle, that is for sure. So with your educational workshop that's coming up at Ovidios, you have two. You're going to have one on a Tuesday, and that's going to be on the 22nd, and that is during the day at 2 p.m. And then the other one is on Thursday, the 24th, and that will start at 6 p.m., correct?
That's correct.
And so people will be, there'll be appetizers and things to that effect there.
Absolutely. Come out. It's wine, whiskey, and appetizers, and you're going to have a good time. Enjoy. I just want to have fun and kind of talk about issues outside of exact numbers, kind of get everybody involved. And if it's just you're coming for the wine and whiskey, great. That's okay.
And you can get educated while you're there too, and meet some people. And Darin, how many years of experience have you had in this particular field?
Quite a while. Working with my dad, he's been in it since the 60s, and then I've had my license, insurance license since 97. And then recently, it's over, 20, 30 years combined experience between us two. But we've evolved in learning from what we've done in the past.
Right.
And now we really like where we're at. We call it our sleep at night investments. We don't like to deal with any type of, we try to lower the risk.
That's great. Well, I'm going to hold this up and then hopefully we'll get a zoom in here. So again, it's Wine, Whiskey, and Wealth at Ovidio's Restaurant, and that's located at Marks and Bullard. If you're interested, it's going to be October 22nd at 2 p.m. And another one, if you can't make the afternoon, you can make the evening on October 24th at 6 p.m. Make sure you RSVP to secure your seat. The number is 559-206-5959. Again, 559-206-5959. Or please reach out and look at the website at www.rcofamerica.com. Darin, thank you so much, Darin Marsella, for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And hope to see people there. And this is Hope Roski with Business Arts and Events.